Another week, another Premiership game. Premiership's been back since last week. I sat down and watched the Quins Sale game last week. It's the first time for the channel anyway I've done a Premiership game. So we've got our second one on. And it's the Friday game between Gloucester and Bristol. In terms of the time zone, this one actually works relatively decent for us here in New Zealand. It's a 6:45 a.m. kickoff on the Saturday. It's a Friday game for you guys in Europe. Sadly, I don't have a magnet for Bristol as yet. I've been using the work printer, to be honest, and we're in lockdown, so I got no access to that, and my own printer has run out of ink, so apologies for that. And I don't have a kit for either team. I was tempted to wear the Lions kit from South Africa because it's, I guess, kind of resembles the Gloucester logo, and the Ackerman connection was there, but with him having left for Japan, I figured I'll just put on a Saracens jersey because everybody loves Saracens. But yeah, I was pretty pumped that this is the game that's on at a time which is a reasonable hour for us in New Zealand because, I mean, Gloucester, you've got Cipriani, and I've looked through the squads, and to be fair, I'm going to need some education from some of you guys. For some of these guys, like Gloucester, I've watched a bit in the Champions Cup, so I'm probably a bit more familiar with. Bristol, I know I've got some big name players, and they are definitely a side which is on the up. And I'm sure, because I've only been covering like Champions Cup games, they look pretty certain to make that competition in pretty quick time, I would imagine. So it's only a matter of time until I make their magnet up anyway. But yeah, I mean, with some of the big name signings they've had, they're definitely a side which seem to be one that people want to watch, especially if you're a neutral, which I am in this case. So yeah, 6:45 a.m. kickoff for me. Should be a pretty good game. Obviously, no crowd with the pandemic, but yeah, differing fortunes. I mean, Bristol's been doing pretty bloody well. Second on the log. 9 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. I did manage to see the highlights of their win over Saracens last week. That was a pretty tight game. I think it was just the one try, which was a penalty try at the end. So very tight, and I guess kind of like the Quins game was maybe characterized a bit by it being the first game back for such a long time, whereas the Gloucester game, admittedly, Worcester had a man down for the majority of the game. Like, that was a right... Like, I mean, Saracens and Bristol was what? 16... Was it 22? And then Worcester was like 44-15. So a proper riot in terms of all the tries that were scored. So, yeah, but Gloucester's record this season... Is this why Ackerman left? It's been a bit... Like 5 wins and 9 losses. This seems a bit underwhelming. Disappointing. Shouldn't Gloucester be higher than that? You guys who are the Premiership guys will have to definitely educate me on what's been going on with them this season, because I certainly don't follow the competition anywhere near as much as I should. In terms of the lineups, I've had a look through. Obviously, there's a few big names that I know, like Singleton. He's obviously been around England on the fringes a wee bit and scored a try last week with a little step that he had at the end, which is pretty good for a hooker. Ackerman, I know from his days in Australia, and Polledri is definitely one of my favourite players in World Rugby, bar none. Cipriani is the man to watch. Again, for us neutrals who probably don't watch that much Premiership, we all know Danny Cipriani. He is a highlight reel machine. And sure enough, a couple of those tries in that game last week were him, like with a big loopy pass and a cross kick, both to Thorley, I think, and he's in the squad as well. Johnny May is playing, even though he went off with that big hit last week from Malani Nanai. I'm glad he recovered from whatever concussion protocols they had to put him through, because he only lasted, 15 minutes in that last game before he got a shoulder to the head. So, yeah, he's back, which is good news for fans. Hopefully he's all good to go. And Reece Salmon gets a start at fullback. He had to come on last week early and scored a try. So, yeah, pretty happy to see him. I noticed Jason Woodward's not in the squad. Is that just because Reece Salmon's getting a start, or is because he's not even in the 23? Is he injured? Not sure. It's a bit of a weird one. For Bristol, again, there's a few guys who I'm probably pretty familiar with. Sinclair obviously is a big name, and he was a big signing for them in the front row. Vui for Samoa, Luatua back from his days with New Zealand. Hughes at number 8. Siali Piertail, definitely from his time with Tonga. Cipriani and Radradra is just one of the best players in the world, absolutely world class in that midfield. Alapati Leo, I remember from Super Rugby. But yeah, a lot of the other guys, I either know the names, maybe not the faces, or yeah, just not that familiar with. So definitely other guys that I should be watching out for, apart from those big name players. Do let me know. A big name which seems to be omitted for Bristol is Charles Piertail. I was kind of keen to see him play, and apparently he's not injured from what I read, but he is just being rested because I guess with the flurry of games that is going to come for all these Premiership sides as they get back into the swing of things, the way they manage the players is going to be crucial into how they go. So that seems to be what Bristol are doing with Piertail in this one. So yeah, they did play. How relevant it is, I don't know, but back in January, and Bristol got a pretty good result, 34 points to 16 at home. This time they're away, so that'll be a different kettle of fish. The bookies have got this one pretty much at evens, with Bristol being like half a point favourite, so not even a full point. And Rugby Forecast algorithm goes the other way. That's got Gloucester taking it by 5 points, I guess largely because they are at home. But yeah, should be a pretty interesting one. I'll be doing a live stream when I watch the game tomorrow morning. Like I said, it's only the second time I've been doing a Premiership game on this channel. Last week I enjoyed the game and I enjoyed watching. I think I watched the highlights of all the other games. There were some errors, there was some magic. It's to be expected when you're coming back from a huge layoff. But yeah, these guys should be a week sharper. I'm not sure what the weather forecast is, but let's hope it's a fine one and we get to see some pretty good attacking rugby, because both these sides have got guys who can just absolutely floor you with some of their skills. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on the game. How do you think this one is going to go? And also, yeah, do let me know, because you guys will definitely know the Premiership more than me. Which players should be looking out for? How do we think the packs are going to go? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.